Welcome to the dungeon. Dayman here. Today we're going to be going over how to beat these brand new bosses. Whoo boy, who's ready to watch me get trashed in the name of science? So, I know that I called this update a love letter from the developers, but boy oh boy was it a wake-up call too. You gotta be taking every dungeon seriously, even in a tier 6. So I have a few thoughts on how these bosses might be best managed, so bear with me here. I have a thought with some bombs. Wait, did they fix the prices? No, okay, it was just these. Yeah, I know people talk about the price point here being pretty high. Yeah, it's definitely going to... Oh, they increased the... Oh, that's because it's all 3. It's only cost 2,000 still. Yep, I had to load up some gold for this dungeon too. I will be getting a little bit of health potions just to help me get through this. And perking up so as to prevent some of the damage. I'm going to take off crits that way. Well, I love my crits. I'm going to take off... You know what? Keep everything as is. I was going to run reduced damage, but I think it's important that we see how much damage these bosses do. Also right here I'm rocking our brand new perk in place of haste, but they do give you a plus 20 to movement speed, so it's almost negligible. You're going to feel like you're moving plenty fast. Oh, is my... I hope it doesn't look a bit foggy for you. Let me turn on my face fan. Pardon my hand, my face there. Alrighty. In my previous dungeon, I did not go into the higher tier, but this time, I have no excuses. Okay. As we know that every new boss has a different tier to it, dictated by the amount of skulls above their head. I've seen 1 and 2 skulls above their head. Ooh, that looks a lot better now. Look at that. Okay. Let's create an encounter. Also, if you haven't done player versus player, it is a lot of fun. Okay, Underworld's fine with me. We are going to have to talk about some of the other biomes here. As some people pointed out, there might be some differences we need to check out. Oh, pray for me. Okay. I want my regular loadout because I want to keep showing off this bad boy. Because I have some thoughts with it. All right. Scary, scary. Okay. Skeleton boss, okay, is often referred to as the skeleton warrior. Okay, I'm a little scared. Whew, here we go. In my last video, I called this guy a tickle monster, and I think the developers took that one personally, because this homie, he is something else now. Where's he at? They increased the range of his impact strike, which now goes for now does 3 strikes. He has this grapple, which you need to hit him directly in the face to prevent. That flamethrower still does just a little bit of damage. Watch, I'm gonna come in here, try and tickle his toes, like I'd previously done. No effect. Always keep your guard up, as I'm ought to say. Now, see how his pauldron can sit right in front of his face there? That makes it far more difficult. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Hey, I said you're going to watch me die. We're going to reload that. We're going to fight this guy. Maybe not until a win, but at least until we can discuss best tactics on how to beat him. Forgive, I'll run through this as fast as I can. Boom, 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 boom. Do they have an... when does he go ice, I wonder? Okay. So, as mentioned, his pauldron and his weapon... both can block his only hitbox now kind of being his face, but also the top of his head. So, make sure you have something thrown or an ability, even a spear held in front of you can interrupt that grapple, which is good. Pretty easy to dodge his projectiles still. One of the best tactics I have found for dealing with this guy is bringing him up to an elevated platform. No, that can deflect off of an elevated surface. That's good to know. Getting onto an elevated platform and using your terrain to your advantage. Okay, he can jump off of platforms, but on stairwells, he tends to get stuck a bit. Now you can kind of mess with the UI just a little bit. Again, it's all about terrain advantage with this guy right now. And I'm going to get up a little bit closer to him, which is not necessarily recommended. I do enjoy that staggering present. Okay. He went around my right-hand side. I wasn't able to get my shield around in time. Had I done so, I might have been able to deflect that blow. Again, I never claimed to be the best, but I claim that I want to try. Okay, we discussed some tactics there. Yeah, they come in an ice variety now. Pretty rough. What you're going to need to do when you have ice enemies, you use a power potion, use a health potion. I'm not sure if bombs can do anything to you, but use a potion, unfreeze yourself. You can still, I know sometimes it's hard to get to that, but you can still tickle your belly button and, get yourself a potion. Okay? Again, with the wasps, tactics have remained nearly the same. You need Chrono Staff, you need something to slow it down or speed yourself up. Multi-shot and explosions have also seemed pretty good to keep it staggered and at bay. Pardon for not having released a video on how to battle the remainder of our enemies, which is good because their tactics have kind of improved. Oh, a lost soul always come from flame skulls. Okay, I have a thought with our Uber Mage, so let's figure out what we can do here. Oh, that's how. We can change him here. Okay, that's good to know. We'll go back to Ice Enemy Skeleton Warrior in a little bit. We've talked about him enough. Again, use elevation, use terrain, kind of mess with the UI a little bit. Now, as we know, same as before, Uber Mage can summon. You can utilize that in Souls missions to get the humanoid enemy's souls, particularly pretty good. Okay. Again, keep your eye on your ticker. You're never too high a level to use a potion, use terrain to your advantage, thin out enemies. But what I'm hoping to trigger here on our phase... Okay, yes, he has two phases. He has a few different tactics that he'll use. Of course, he has his standard where he will... Watch this out. So here I can keep enemies at bay while keeping my guard up. Boom. Now that he's teleported, he's going to appear behind me no matter where I'm at. There he is. He's loaded my position from before. Okay. Well, my shield was too close to my body, so do try to keep your shield in about a medium distance because they can get around that shield if they get close to you. It's going to be a little bit longer video than the previous one because tactics have improved with our monsters. Our developers really know what's up. So these Doomers have some interesting tactics, but let's see. Let's go Elite, just on account of the fact that I want to see if maybe it's the fire version. One of them, they have this ability where they create a barrier around them, and I want to test out a tactic with that. So let's try and weed out his little cronies here. Show yourself, Uber Mage. There he is. I can do that too now. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, let's get him to stagger, get him out of here. Boom. Okay. Get off my back. Okay. So we got him down through one of his skulls. Every time they go through a skull, it looks as though they lose one of their abilities and change up their tactics. Okay. Maybe my critical hits are doing too much to this guy. So it looks as though the Fire Mage isn't going so big on summons as the standard one was. I'm hoping that he's going to proc this energy shield. They also have this ability of creating a barrier, so we're going to have to go Elite. We're just going to have to go Elite. Watch me die again. Here we go. Whew. All right. Center that breath. Get ready to die. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to have to launch all these guys Elite in order to get all their really cool tactics the developers brought in. Okay. Here we go. He's got his summons coming in. Keep him staggered. See those two skulls above his head? That's how we know what tactics he has available to him. Yeah, you thought you had my blind spot, but you did not. Okay, a large impact wave with his slash now, as you just saw. Summoning more. I brought a few of these. Just here he comes. Keep my guard up. Okay. One of the things I was going to talk about are bombs, though are not necessary to clear out our titans or our golems anymore. Bombs have a far greater use when handling these uber mages. Again, you're going to watch me die a few times. It's really just about discussing tactics and hopefully being able to implement them in an effective way. I'm trying to get him to use... Was that elite? I don't think I clicked elite. Those who are watching know. Oh, he's just... Nah, he's standard. So this right here, that's not a new enemy. That's just what the arachnophobia looks like. I don't have arachnophobia. I just like that they look like sci-fi monsters. Big slashes, love it. Again, he's going to appear behind me, so keep my eyes peeled and ready to look. Explosions, again, another reason I'm recommending bombs is because you can clear out those a bit better. So let's start giving them some tickles here. Have all your all your allies face the same direction, and you're going to be easily able to determine where he's going to be. And some people say, hey, if he's in front of you, or if you're up against a wall, he'll appear in front of you. And that's only kind of true. If everyone's up against a wall, he'll appear beside you as best he can. Okay. He has a new attack on the elite level anyways, where he can create these purple shock waves. Kind of similar. Yeah, nice. See, we're looking at his new tactics. Okay, this is what I wanted to test out. Can bombs go in or hurt him? He can still be hurt by bombs even while he is inside his barrier. So keep that in mind. Explosions or radius attacks. Okay, dying was worth it there because I've been wanting to test out that tactic for quite some time. So keep some bombs on you in a dungeon in order to help kind of deal some damage. Otherwise, you're not able to enter into that barrier. I've even had some people suggest that, and that we've seen, that if you're inside that radius, that you might be insta-killed, but then again, he might have just got, bow-staffed, right? All right, so we confirmed that bombs and radius attacks can still damage him inside of his barrier. So you have the shockwave, boom, hammer can still damage him in that. Maybe even explosions off of the bow and the... I had not seen these explosions have enough radius to get through to him, so keep that in mind. Nice. Okay, moving forward with our next bosses. So our zombie doomers, good, they're staying elite. Our zombie doomers have some pretty decent, advantages to them now. They can now summon flying enemies. And based off of the terrain, yeah. So I was pretty sure that was the case. They're going to kill me with this, aren't they? The the lost souls or flame skulls. Again, come off the side. He has a few different tactics now, being able to summon flying enemies. His standard throw, which you can wait for his hand to get a bit high. Get away from me! Can't stand those things. This is pretty good when he's summoning bats or bees out of his belly, because as they're coming out, these large splash attacks can still do quite some decent damage to him. Of course, he has his big slam. You can proc that big slam and get him to utilize... this guy's very easy to dodge, but again, he has some new tactics, being he can summon enemies. Let's get him down. Get away, get away, get away! Sorry. Shouldn't panic as much, but I just really don't enjoy those enemies. Again, thrown weapons simulator. So here we go. We've got him into a new stage. His charge attack doesn't do a lot of damage, but his charge attack causes him to get out of breath. So if you can get some distance off of him and let him run himself down, you can get him to run out of breath about 3 seconds, which is pretty good. Of course, based off the element. Now everybody knows he's going to drop these quad potions, which are... Oh, look at that. Even though he hit me square twice, I didn't take a lot of damage. Then again, I have stillness and regen, as well as some life stealing and absorb. Again, I love the fact that I can have my shield up. There it is. So after you get him down to that first skull, Okay? Don't stagger him. Let that final skull disappear, and then ease off your attacks. He's going to do a kamikaze where you see all those meatballs then fly out of his person. So he'll kill himself if you don't stagger him after that first skull. So communicate to your party, hey, we're going to take out that final skull and back off. A big chance that he's going to explode. If he doesn't, just continue the assault as normal. Okay. Whew. That goes to show Doomer has still yet to be a deep challenge, though they made him a little bit scarier with those flame skulls. But again, at the lower tiers, it's bats, it's bugs based off a biome. Oculus. Okay, I was going to say the octopus or something like that, but okay. Whew. This guy has some pretty cool tactics now, too. I used to not really have to worry too much about dying to this guy, especially with a spear, because his bite attack was able to get interrupted by his by a spear. His projectiles have increased as well. Watching here within, yeah. See, after that first tier, we're watching these eyes begin to fly, and those eyes will. I don't know if it's based off of the number of allies you have, but I have seen multiple eyes fly off of its person, and that might be homing onto multiple targets. Okay, so again, one of the better tactics with this guy, don't let yourself die to the flames. Let him eat you. If you're getting low, let him take a bite out of you. Okay, he ran into my spear and disappeared. But when you're getting low, let him take a bite out of you, and you're going to respawn without having to waste those expensive. One more time, because we haven't gone over all of its abilities yet. I died only trying to die a different way. But you saw him disappear because he ran into my spear. Okay. Looks like you can destroy those eyes before they hit you, which is cool. So again, if he bites you, you're going to respawn. It's not a permadeath. That was on purpose to demonstrate that. Now you watch how explosions and such will actually send him repelled back. You can push him into more advantageous locations. I like to lure him underneath locations. He pulled himself back out. By luring him underneath a platform, you give your melee allies a chance to kind of, do some work on him. Okay, where's he coming? Where's he going? Okay. Was I devoured or what? Nice. So again, being devoured, watch him be stuck here. You do want to be using environment, right? It's actually crucial now that we use environment to our advantage for these bosses. Using elevation, So one of the things he'll do now is summon a massive eye inside of his mouth. And when doing so, it'll shoot a larger and more powerful beam than usual. Keep him down here, keep him here. Here, it's gonna do it. Come on, show our viewers what they need to see. Show me that pretty eye mouth. Mouth eye, I guess. Okay, lure him in. Let my stillness take over a little bit. Alright. I really wanted him to display that attack where he opens up his mouth, revealing an eye, and shoots a relatively powerful blast at you. Again, easy enough dodge, similar to, the Doomer's thrown attack. Okay, Uber mages. Pow. The developers knew what they were doing. Oh, how reserved I am. I really don't want to do it. Alright, dying is dying, ain't nothing. We're gonna come back. Okay. Again, keeping distance, keeping him staggered. You can only throw head on. He moves so well that if you're off to a side with him, you're not going to be able to land that thrown attack. So if you're trying to do thrown weapons or archery, try and do it head on, because all that jagged movement makes it rather difficult to... Is this guy... Did I not click elite? Okay. So we got an eye down. I wanted to see if any new tactics. Of course, we know that... Okay. So, that might be one of the new tactics I wasn't able to keep an eye on. Let's launch it again. These guys are so hard, I don't know if the developers needed to add any additional attacks to them. Oh, okay. Again, keep your distance. Thrown attacks or ranged attacks head on to keep them staggered and away from you. That ranged attack isn't the hardest to dodge, but is pretty fast, so keeping distance gives you more of an opportunity to... And again, I don't typically find that I can block its stinger. Keeping distance, wanting to use my beam. So the beam only works if they are past the tip of your spear. You just saw the fact that because he was on my spear, I was not all those shots flew past him. Were I to use a haste or it were slowed down, I might have been able to keep distance well enough to keep him staggered and blasted. But whenever you blast him, he's going to shoot off to one side. So remember that. You can't really anticipate which side he's going to go off to. When you hit him, be ready to adjust your aim. And with that, we've covered the majority of our bosses, but because I love you, I'm willing to suffer. Okay. And I will fight legendary enemies. That sounds like the purple guys, right? I thought they were elite, but they might in fact be legendary, the purple ones. That's good to know. A tier I totally missed. I was dying to a less than powerful tier. Goodness me. Okay, let's launch a legendary Octolus. Octolus, sorry. Okay. This guy might do... Oh god, no, there's two of them. What have I done? Okay, it's just this guy. Boom, in the face. Okay, remember, only the face is going to be able to deal damage. I wish that you were able to get in closer and actually manage this guy's attacks. Keep your guard high on him, as you're going to block the majority of his strikes. I know I can't really see too much of him. Oh, yeah. Wow, what a scary guy. What a scary guy. Again, that's just kind of prove the fact that distance is a game with him. And you're going to want to take an elevated terrain. Pro tip. I guess these are all pro tips, right? I'm not professional or nothing. But if you're in a room where you can take elevation quickly, you might be able to keep them beneath you, because they might not be able to read the terrain as well as, say, a player. So let's try this one more time. Sorry. My cortisol levels are going a little haywire right now. Let's do it. So, I was in a dungeon where all three of my allies had perished, and I had... Oh! So scary that is. You have to get him past that first tier with that grapple attack. If you don't get him past that first tier, he'll be able to pull you off an elevated terrain. Again, here I am going to be using environment to keep him kind of less than able to move in on me. His charge attack goes a lot longer now. It used to be only like 3 or so steps. Now he can fully run up pretty good on you. Ugh! Yeah, I missed his face with that spear, but you did previously see me do that. Again. Okay. Looks like you can break. He's pulled me through walls and things like that. Not pulled me through a wall, but it was able to keep his tracking beam on me. So in order to get this tactic to work, I am going to hopefully take away his first skeleton above his head, so he can't use his grappling attack on me anymore. Yeah, you see that his charge goes a lot longer. Okay, perfect. Whew. Now that we're here, let's see if we can start using our terrain to our advantage. So, here we go, here we go. Run away, run away. Okay, 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 okay. Should have brought some haste. In fact, in my notes for this, I was going to bring haste. So now you see that his first skull has gone away, and now I can more effectively keep distance. I need to grab a haste for this, but in order to keep that distance real good, but let's see if we can keep him staggered. And time for us to get to the chain. Okay, now that he's here, his UI isn't going to be able to as effectively target me, hopefully. Okay. So I've been able to jump up onto a platform and keep his aggression on me while my players are able to keep fighting him from behind. Again, it's an environment game with this guy. Unfortunately, our dungeons are going to have us fighting more than one of them. If you're running a tier 7, he's probably going to be paired with an ice. So, you know, keep your potions at least, you know, 1 or 2 in a dungeon. I know they're expensive, but having a power potion, having some health potions are going to make it a lot easier. He's going to hop down. Again, I'm trying to keep a decent and effective range with my enemy here. I might just let him kill me. You guys get the point. I accept my fate. Guess I didn't. My shield was like, no, you want to fight, don't you? Cool, cool, cool. So you can kind of see using your environment, keeping a distance, and kind of messing with its UI. I don't know if I'm using the word UI right. AI, I guess. Bonus tip with this guy, I've also noticed that enemies are larger than before. I'm going to do this guy because people have a difficult time dealing with this fool, and he's honestly so easy. Watch me die a moment when I say that. Okay. He throws a bomb, and then he's going to charge you. Just run right at him. Just run at him, and he's going to kill himself. Yeah, it's scary to you know, run directly at a suicide bomber. I'm probably going to demonetize my channel with all these words that I use, but I'm mostly doing this to help y'all, not to make money. So let's do it. No weapons. No weapons whatsoever. Finding this fool. Where's he at? He throws a bomb. His bombs take care of himself. Okay. That covers all of our bosses at a much higher tier than you had previously seen me fight them. We now know that the Uber Mage explosions can touch him. The Oculus has an eye attack inside of its mouth and is able to use homing projectiles that can be destroyed with contact from weapons. The wasps, thankfully, weren't changed too much, but we are gonna do it anyways. Ah! I do... Oh no. Yeah, I don't want to do that. He's like, so you're trying to die, huh? Yeah. The last boss I wanted to discuss was... Where are they? Nope. The large scorpion, which... I'm not seeing the large scorpion, unfortunately. Maybe it's just a legendary tiered version. Let's find out. As their new tactic is being able to burrow... Nope. The large scorpions, by the way, can easily be defeated by keeping behind them. Just keep running to the side and, you know, attacking them with a weapon or whatever. If you knock off its tail, it's going to be much easier to deal with. It's going to lose that multi... I got a little disc from that. When it comes to the large scorpion, however, it can burrow beneath the ground. When it burrows beneath the ground, I have not seen it be able to erupt from elevated platforms. So as long as everyone kind of goes to an elevated platform, you're able to avoid that, as it's going to come up with its stinger first and do that auto kill attack. So burrowing scorpions stay on a ground tier, or at least they can't go to elevated platforms. Running along their side will keep them from being able to get pretty effective tactics, but that tail can still auto kill, so try to target it down. It's going to have a weak point at the base of its tail and also on its mandibles as weak points that we've seen similar to the ogres, or not ogres, I guess the golems. I do wish I was able to load up golems in the training area. I was just seeing if there's anything special about, I guess. Okay, good to know I can be doing all that stuff. All right, I hope you learned something in this, and if you have any tactics that you use to beat these bosses, let me know. And again, thank you developers for increasing the challenge of your game. We love you, and I love you subscribers. Remember to wash your face and disinfect your face mask. Until next time, I'll see you in the dungeon. Peace!